We begin tonight with breaking news out of Providence, where right now police are on the scene of a shooting on Wendell Street.
You're looking now at live pictures from the scene. Here's what we know right now. The fire department tells us one person was taken to Rhode Island Hospital. At this point, police are not releasing any other details.
We have an Eyewitness News crew gathering information as we speak. We'll bring you a live report a little later on.
But first at 5:30, we're working breaking news we first told you about on Eyewitness News live at 5. Providence police are on the scene of a shooting. We have just confirmed with police that one person is dead.
The shooting happened late this afternoon on Wendell Street. It's a very active scene right now. You can see a large crowd is there as well as police.
The Pinpoint News Tracker shows you where this all took place again on Wendell Street. Right now, we have a call into police and are working to get more details. And we'll bring you the very latest coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
Now we're working breaking news, a deadly shooting in Providence. The Pinpoint News Tracker takes you to the scene on Wendell Street, where police are still investigating right now. We first brought you this breaking news on Eyewitness News Live at 5. New at 6, we've just learned the victim is a 20-year-old male. His teenage sister, who was with him, was also shot, but there's no word yet on her injuries. Let's go to Eyewitness News reporter Brian Yacono, who's there live on the scene.
Well, good evening. We're live at Wendell and Cranston. Wendell right now, as you can see behind me, closed off with crime scene tape. And we have just learned brand new information for you at 6 o'clock tonight from the chief of police. We now know that 2 people were shot just a short distance behind me, and they were a brother and a sister. We have also learned they were in a vehicle together on Wendell Street. The brother, said to be 20 years old, has died from this incident. His sister, a teenager, taken to the hospital. No one is in custody right now. We did just talk with the police major just moments ago. Here's what he had to say.
A shooting with one male killed on the scene and one female brought to Rhode Island Hospital. She is in surgery as we speak. The victim is in the car and will be done shortly, and then we will be able to continue our investigation.
See a little bit of this scene. Now, the scene is actually happening.
This is a developing story. New information continues coming out. In fact, the medical examiner just a few minutes ago walked down the street behind me. As we have new information, we will have it for you coming up on Eyewitness News at 6:30, also right here at 10 and 11 tonight. With the mobile newsroom, Brian Yacono, Eyewitness News.
Police. Man killed. Woman injured in Providence shooting. Davon Taylor, 20, was killed and his sister Destiny, 15, injured in a shooting Wednesday. Providence police said Wednesday that a man was killed and a woman was injured in a shooting in the city's West End. Maj David Lapidin released the names of the victims involved. Davon Taylor, 20, of Providence, was pronounced dead at Rhode Island Hospital. His younger sister Destiny Taylor, 15, was also shot. Her condition remains unknown as of Wednesday evening. The victims were shot in a car at about 4 p.m. on Wendell Street. The car came to rest facing the wrong way on a one-way street, and it stopped at the front end of a skid steer, a piece of construction equipment that was being used for utility work just down the street. The back window of the car appeared to have been shot out. Police said they were trying to track down leads. The medical examiner is there. He's just finishing his work. The victim was in a car. He'll be done shortly and we'll be able to continue our investigation. Providence Police Maj David Lapidin said police said they did not have any suspects in it.
A local family is in mourning tonight following a deadly shooting that claimed the life of an aspiring young musician and wounded his teenage sister. The story was first breaking yesterday here on Eyewitness News Live at 5. Now, police say they're making progress solving the tragic crime, while the heartbroken loved ones of Davon and Destiny Taylor hope justice is served. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly spoke exclusively to the family today and joins us live now with their emotional response.
Detectives tonight are still investigating a shooting yesterday that left a young man dead and sent his younger sister to the hospital with serious injuries. Candles mark the spot in the West End of Providence where 20-year-old Davon Taylor was gunned down in a drive-by murder late yesterday afternoon. His younger sister, 15-year-old Destiny Taylor, was rushed to surgery with serious injuries. The two were sitting in a car on Wendell Street. Tell us about Davon.
He was just a cool kid. Like he just like if he was here right now, this house would not be like this. This house would not be so quiet. The music would be on. We would walk in here, and he would just hug me every time.
It's alright. It's alright, Leon.
The police tell us they're making progress in their investigation, but so far, no arrests.
Well, I know somebody better do something about it. That's all I know. And
What would you like to see done? Let me ask you that.
Justice. Justice. I want to see justice done. That's what I want to see.
Talk to me about your idea of justice.
I think whoever did it needs to just turn themselves in.
I'm sorry?
I said I think whoever did it needs to just turn themselves in. That's all they need to do.
And justice in your mind would be what?
Justice go to jail.
We also checked in with Davon Taylor's grandfather. He's devastated too, and we'll hear from him new at 6. Live at police headquarters with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.
Davon Taylor, 20, passed on May 14th. He was the son of Melissa A. Taylor and Herbert Ramey. He recently graduated from Glen Mills Academy of Pennsylvania. Besides his parents, he is survived by his sister, Destiny Taylor, a brother, Camaro Taylor, a godbrother, Damani Shorts, his maternal grandparents, Regina Taylor and Bernard Cheney, a great-grandmother, Mary Taylor, several aunts, uncles and cousins and dear friends. He was the grandson of the late Herbert McKinney and Wanda Ramey. Calling hours will be held Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Keefe Funeral Home, 5 Higginson Ave, Lincoln. A celebration of his life will be held Saturday at 10 a.m. in the funeral home. Burial will be in North Burial Ground, Providence.
We have some new information this morning on Providence's latest homicide investigation.
Late last night, police released the name of the man shot dead on Wendell Street, as well as the victim's sister, who was wounded in the gunfire.
Eyewitness News reporter Andrew Adamson is live outside of Rhode Island Hospital with more on what he's learned overnight.
Yeah, good morning, Danielle and Patrick. I spoke with Providence Police not too long ago to get the latest details for you, and we can confirm the names of those 2 victims involved in that shooting incident. They are a brother and sister from Providence, as you said, 20-year-old Davon Taylor and 15-year-old Destiny Taylor. We do know that Davon Taylor was killed in this incident, and Destiny Taylor, last we checked, was being treated here at Rhode Island Hospital. We're going to show you new video this morning that we got in earlier. You can see candles flickering, part of a makeshift memorial. Friends and family left these for the victims at the scene on Wendell Street near the Cranston Street Armory after that violent incident on Wednesday afternoon. Here's what we've learned so far. Major David LePayton of the Providence Police Department tells us that Davon and Destiny Taylor were sitting in a parked car when a vehicle drove by and fired shots out the window. Both Davon and Destiny were hit by that gunfire. Davon died on the scene while Destiny was rushed to Rhode Island Hospital. She underwent surgery on Wednesday, and we are still searching for an update on her current condition. Eyewitness News spoke with a young cousin of the victims who didn't want to appear on camera, but he had this to say afterwards.
They was real nice people. Well, I know them for years because they're my family, but I'm gonna miss my cousin.
No word on any suspects at this point. We are working to find out more details about that, though. We don't know if the suspects and the victims knew each other. This is the 6th homicide in Providence this year. We are going to hear more from other eyewitnesses coming up in our next half hour. For now, live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Andrew Adamson, Eyewitness News.
Man dies. His sister fighting for life in Providence shooting. Providence. A man is dead and his sister is gravely wounded after a shooting on Wendell Street Wednesday afternoon. Maj David Lapidin of the Providence Police said the pair were sitting in a parked car when another vehicle drove by, and someone in it opened fire. The brother, who was behind the wheel, died at the scene. Lapidin said. He identified the slain man as Davon Taylor, 20, of Providence. The young woman was Destiny Taylor, 15, also of Providence, he said. He said the sister underwent surgery at Rhode Island Hospital. Her condition was not available. He said the pair did not live on Wendell Street, but their street addresses were not clear. The shooting took place minutes after 4 p.m. Lapidin said that although investigators have some suspects in mind, it was not clear whether the incident was gang-related, and there had been no arrests. Wendell Street intersects Cranston Street about a block from the landmark Cranston Street Armory. A dozen glass-jarred candles flickered later in the evening on the sidewalk at the shooting scene as well-wishers left their sentiments, but the shadowed street stood empty. Taylor, nicknamed Bon, lived in Manton Heights. He was a rapper who produced videos under the name Splashy Rock. Titles include Gettin' Money, Ocean State of Mind, Respect the Shooter and Prov City. In Prov City, he sings, You could die any given Sunday. Prov City, it's a gun range. In Gettin' Money viewers can hear a gunshot. Taylor flashes wads of cash and sings, "Even God can't stop that Glock from spinning."
In Providence yesterday, a man died at the scene on Wendell Street. His teenage sister was injured but is expected to survive.
Police say they were sitting in a car around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when another car pulled up alongside of them and someone in it opened fire. NBC 10's Brian Crandall has more.
Family and friends bring candles to the spot where 20-year-old Davon Taylor lost his life. Taylor and his 15-year-old sister Destiny were shot while driving in a car on Wendell Street around 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
My cousin got killed too.
Emotional family members showing up to the scene, crying, hugging. A younger cousin was there with his mom.
They're taking it hard. My family's really taking it hard.
Family and friends tell me that Davon Taylor went by the nickname Bon Bon and rapped under the name Splashy Rock.
They was real nice people. Well, I know them for years because they're my family. But I'm gonna miss my cousin Davon.
Family members say the siblings were on the way to pick up a child at daycare. Providence police are not saying much, but it appears the car rolled a little ways after the gunfire, coming to rest against a piece of construction equipment being used for utility work down the street. The back window of the car appears to have been shot out. This from a neighbor who did not want to be identified.
I saw him just lifeless, turned away, in the seat. And then I saw, supposedly his sister was shot a couple times in the back.
Another neighbor told me he heard 6 or 7 shots, saw the car roll, and heard the girl yell for help before collapsing. Investigators were on the scene for several hours, saying they did not yet have suspects.
Not yet, but there will be.
NBC 10 has learned that there is surveillance video of at least part of the incident. Police and a family member tell me that Destiny Taylor is expected to survive after undergoing surgery last night. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News in Providence.
Police fear retaliation in Providence killing. Providence police said they fear retaliation in a shooting that left a man dead and his sister seriously injured. Police said 20-year-old Davon Taylor and his 15-year-old sister, Destiny, were shot at about 4 p.m. on Wendell Street in the city's west. Family members said the Taylors were going to pick up a child at daycare. Police said they believe Davon Taylor was targeted and that his sister happened to be in the wrong place at wrong time. They said they will increase patrols for fear of retaliation in the neighborhood. Destiny Taylor was being treated at Hasbro Children's Hospital for a gunshot wound to the abdomen. There have been no arrests. National Grid said it has posed now a crime scene.
Afternoon, a brother was killed, a sister was seriously wounded after a shooting, and today police are looking for the shooter and they fear there could be retaliation. NBC 10's Sierra Putman is in the newsroom this noon hour with the latest in this ongoing investigation. Sierra?
Well, police tell us that this is a family that has experienced its fair share of trouble and tragedy, and they tell NBC 10 that the brother and sister were on their way to pick up a child at daycare. Now, these are pictures of the victims. 20-year-old Davon Taylor and his 15-year-old sister Destiny were driving down Wendell Street Wednesday at about 4 when they were gunned down. Police say it was a targeted hit and will increase patrols for fear of retaliation in the neighborhood. The police department believes Davon was the target and his sister was collateral damage. The 15-year-old is now being treated at Hasbro Children's Hospital. She is expected to survive.
They was real nice people. Well, I know them for years because they're my family. But I'm gonna miss my cousin Davon.
And NBC 10 has learned that National Grid was actually completing a project near the area. That work will actually stop because this is now a crime scene. Again, police say they will provide additional patrols in that area. Sierra Putman, NBC 10 News.
Thank you, Sierra.
Providence police say young rapper shot to death on Wednesday was targeted by killers. Providence, RI. The police think the young rapper murdered in the West End on Wednesday was targeted by the killers. Davon Taylor, 20, was driving his 15-year-old sister Destiny down Wendell Street around 4 p.m. when someone opened fire on their car. Davon died and Destiny was seriously wounded. She remained hospitalized Thursday at Hasbro Children's Hospital, where the police said she was recovering. Mage David Lapidin said investigators had leads on 2 or 3 young men who were suspected in the double shooting. The suspects fled in a dark-colored car. No detailed descriptions were given. Lapidin didn't say why Taylor would have been targeted. Taylor was from Manton Heights, where a local gang, Manton Heights Block or MHB, has been involved in violence. The major declined comment on possible gang involvement. Taylor was the 6th homicide in Providence this year, and the 2nd young man murdered this month. Francis Rodriguez, 22, had survived a shooting on New Year's Day, only to be shot to death in Elmwood 2 weeks ago. His killing is still unsolved. As rapper Splashy Taylor recorded music videos about gunfire, drugs and fast money, often flashing wads of cash and, sometimes, handguns. He tweeted a month ago, "I ain't a rapper, I just talk about how I'm living, keep it truthful." The music videos are at times prophetic. You could die any given Sunday. Prov City, it's a gun range. He rapped over shots of downtown Providence in Prov City. In Gettin' Money, Taylor boasted about money and the risks. Even God can't stop the Glock from spinning. In Respect the Shooter, Taylor rapped, "I'm strapped up so I'm ducking the law. Killers round here, I expletive with them all." He criticizes other men taking the stand, pointing your fingers and ratting on others. Interspersed in the video are scenes from movies of young men being killed in drive-by shootings. That video ends with a scene from Friday, a movie made the year after Taylor was born. An older man confronts his son, played by Ice Cube, who he finds is carrying a gun for protection. The father tells his son, "You kids have been nothing but punks, sissified, so quick to pick up a gun." He raises his fists and tells his son that when I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Young man murdered in Providence, ambush described as father, friend. The young man who was murdered in an ambush that left his sister injured had lost friends in shootings over the years. Davon Taylor, 20, was fatally shot while driving on Wendell Street Wednesday afternoon with his 15-year-old sister Destiny. The police say they are seeking 2 or 3 suspects involved in the gunfire. Taylor was beginning to build a name for himself locally as rapper Splashy, something he'd wanted to do for years, said Jamie Gomez, a childhood friend. Taylor's music and videos often centered on money and gun violence, showing him flashing wads of cash, smoking marijuana and, occasionally, displaying a gun. Gomez said those images were how Taylor was trying to make a name for himself, like other rappers do. What he's showing on the rap videos is what he was doing for his career. Gomez said, "Who he was in videos does not define him. He is a totally different person." Gomez said Taylor rapped about shootings from his own experiences, in seeing friends murdered in the city. "Violence in the streets is everything that's going on in Providence in the last couple of years," said Gomez. Full stop. One friend was 17-year-old Virgilio Rojo, a boy from Manton Heights who was shot to death while walking in the Hartford neighborhood with a friend in 2008. A man was convicted and sentenced to serve 27 years for Rojo's murder. Another friend is Nelson Sanchez, who was fatally shot in January while sitting in a car with a friend, who drove him to the police station. The 24-year-old man, known as Vamp, had survived other shootings. Police said he was associated with a street gang feuding with other neighborhoods, but so far no one has been charged in the murder. Taylor was the 6th homicide in Providence this year. Gomez said he leaves behind a child.
Providence police have identified a suspect in the city's 6th homicide of the year.
Earlier today, we told you that an arrest warrant was issued for Joseph Taylor. Now, here's a picture provided by police. The 18-year-old is accused of shooting and killing 20-year-old Davon Taylor and injuring his 15-year-old sister Destiny in broad daylight last Wednesday on Wendell Street.
Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Sullivan is live in Providence now with more details on the break in this case.
Well, tonight I spoke with a member of a nonviolence organization who knows Joseph Taylor, the man who police are looking for, and he says that he knew Joseph as a basketball player, and he was surprised to find out that he's wanted in the capital city's latest homicide. Gunfire erupted in Providence's West End last Wednesday. Davon Taylor was shot and killed while driving with his younger sister Destiny Taylor on Wendell Street. At the time, police told Eyewitness News they didn't have a suspect.
Not yet, but there will be.
Now police say they are looking for this man, 18-year-old Joseph Taylor, in connection with Davon's death. A member of the Institute for the Study and Practice of Nonviolence has known Joseph since he was a young kid and most recently interacted with him in a basketball rec league.
Actually, I've been seeing him for the past couple of Wednesdays up until last Wednesday.
Juan Carter says he knows Joseph as a basketball player, not a murder suspect. Carter doesn't know if Joseph and Davon had any issues with each other.
They're both from separate housing projects, which for the past several years has always had an issue with each other. So it's almost like an ongoing thing passed down from generation to generation.
While Carter hasn't talked to Joseph recently, he's trying to get him to do the right thing.
If he didn't do it, you know, it's better that he turn himself in and try to clear his name. So we're reaching out to all possible people to, you know, try to hold him accountable and try to put some pressure on him to turn himself in. It's better for himself. It's also safer for the community and safer for his family.
And despite having the same last name, Davon Taylor and Joseph Taylor are not related. Now, Carter also tells me that Destiny Taylor, who was also shot and wounded in that same incident, is still recovering in the hospital tonight. Police urge you that if you know any information on Joseph's whereabouts, to give them a call. Reporting live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Kelly Sullivan, Eyewitness News.
Suspect, 18, sought in Providence slaying of aspiring rapper Providence. R.I. A local man is wanted in a shooting that killed a 20-year-old rapper and wounded his younger sister last week. Joseph Taylor, who turned 18 on Wednesday, the day of the shooting, is charged in an arrest warrant with murder and felony assault in the death of Davon Taylor and the shooting of 15-year-old Destiny Taylor. Joseph Taylor isn't related to the siblings, but investigators believe he knew Davon Taylor. They are from rival neighborhoods, and we're investigating as to whether that's the motive in the shooting, Detective Captain Michael E. Correa said Monday. Davon Taylor lived in Manton Heights, and Joseph Taylor was from the Silver Lake area, Correa said. Wednesday afternoon, Taylor was driving with his sister on Wendell Street when their car was blasted by gunfire. Friends said he was expecting a child in a few months. Davon Taylor's friends say he was trying to make a name for himself as a rapper, recording music as Splashy Rock. Some of his songs were about gun violence, as in Prov City, You Could Die Any Given Sunday, and Respect the Shooter, I'm Strapped Up So I'm Ducking the Law. Davon Taylor was the 6th homicide victim in Providence this year.
18-year-old Joseph Taylor turned himself into police just a short time ago. Taylor's accused of shooting and killing 20-year-old Davon Taylor and wounding his 15-year-old sister last week on Wendell Street. Police say Taylor is not related to the victims and is expected to be arraigned in court later this afternoon. We'll be there for that arraignment. We'll bring you the very latest beginning live at 5.
Providence man turns himself in on murder of rapper and shooting of sister. Providence, R.I. An 18-year-old man has turned himself in on a warrant charging him with the murder of a young Providence rapper and shooting of his younger sister. Joseph Taylor, 18, turned himself in Tuesday morning, the day after police announced publicly that he was being sought in the double shooting that killed Davon Taylor, 20, and wounded his 15-year-old sister Destiny. Joseph Taylor is expected to be arraigned Tuesday afternoon in district court. He is not related to the siblings. The police said they were investigating whether the shooting was over a neighborhood rivalry. The siblings are from Manton Heights, and Taylor is from the Silver Lake area. Davon Taylor was driving his sister down Wendell Street last Wednesday afternoon when someone opened fire on their car. Police said at the time there were 2 or 3 young men who were possible suspects. Joseph Taylor is so far the only person charged in the shooting. Davon Taylor performed as rapper Splashy Rock, recording songs about making money and gun violence.
Rhode Island, he has no prior criminal record. He lives with his mother and 3 brothers and a sister. He's in school in the 11th grade. I'd asked this court, in light of the fact that he surrendered himself this morning after learning of the warrant, that personal cognizance said based on the fact that he has.
Well, he's held without bail, so I don't know that 50,000 was sure needs to be set, but my recollection it's a 20-year crime. I'll say 20,000 with surety with a no contact order with Destiny Taylor. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And they have a pre-arraignment conference on July 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, get this on camera.
So when you saw him go before the judge, you felt some sense of justice?
Well, I was happy that he was apprehended. As far as the justice right now, you know, when I see the sentencing that he will not be getting out again, never do this again, then maybe I'll feel a little better. But not about my grandson being born.
Were you grandfather to both of them?
Yes. I'm not their maternal grandfather, but I'm their grandfather because I raised them from babies. And the love is what counts.
They want to know what happened. That's it. Giving them the vote. Oh, they are in here?
Can I get your name and how you spell it?
Carl Jefferson, C-A-R-L, Jefferson. How are you?
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Now we are tracking developing news on Providence's 6th homicide investigation this year.
The suspect we told you police were looking for exactly 24 hours ago turned himself into police this morning. It was breaking news at noon, and tonight we're getting a first look at Joseph Taylor.
Eyewitness News reporter Brian Yacono was in court today. He joins us now live in Providence with all the new information.
Good evening. 15 to 20 people showed up for that arraignment just a short time ago. But before any of them got into the courtroom, a fight broke out. Now, we're not allowed to shoot video in the hallways of this building, but I was there on the 4th floor. I saw punches being thrown, people being chased up and down the hallway. That prompted more security and delayed what everybody came to see in the first place.
All right, sir, what's your name?
With an anxious energy filling the courtroom, 18-year-old Joseph Taylor walked in and stood before the judge for the first time. He's charged now with murder and felony assault in the death of Davon Taylor and the shooting of Destiny Taylor less than a week ago.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As he left court, profanities were yelled at him. Then that anxious group poured out into the street, and that is where we hear from Gil Lamont, the grandfather of the victims, Davon and Destiny.
I was happy that he was apprehended. As far as the justice right now, when I see the sentencing that he will not be getting out again to ever do this again, then maybe I'll feel a little better, but not about my grandson being gone.
This stems from a shooting last Wednesday on Wendell Street. That's where police say Joseph Taylor fired shots into the vehicle with Davon and Destiny inside, killing Davon and sending Destiny to the hospital.
As parents, I think we got to get more involved with their lives so we can find out just what they're doing so things like this can maybe hopefully be averted in the future.
Now tonight, Joseph Taylor is being held without bail. We continue asking Providence police if anybody has been arrested as a result of that fight earlier today. Coming up right here at 6 o'clock, the new information we're learning about the shooting itself last week from these court documents I just got a hold of. With the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Brian Yacono, Eyewitness News.
10 charged with disorderly conduct after fights in Providence Courthouse, Providence. 9 people were charged in a courthouse brawl that broke out Tuesday afternoon during the court appearance of a man charged with murdering a young rapper. Although sheriffs tried to keep them separated when they were brought in for their arraignments the next day, another fight broke out in the courthouse, leading to the arrest of a 10th person. The friends and relatives of suspect Joseph Taylor, 18, clashed with the loved ones of the murdered man, Davon Taylor, 20, and his sister Destiny, 15, who was wounded in a shooting on Wendell Street last week. The siblings are no relation to the suspect, but the police say they know each other from rival neighborhoods. The Taylor siblings are from Manton Heights and Joseph Taylor is from Hartford Park and the Silver Lake area. Providence Police Maj David Lapidin said investigators are looking for 2 more suspects in the murder. Davon Taylor performed as rapper Splashy Rock, and some of his videos about gun violence and drive-by shootings appear prescient. Joseph Taylor's arraignment brought together rival factions, including members of the Hartford Gang, members of notorious families, various players in the local criminal world, and their associates, all meeting up at the district court at the same time according to a police report. A fight started with words outside the 4th floor courtroom, where Taylor swiftly made an appearance before a judge and was ordered held without bail. Serena Northrup, 21, said to Davon Taylor's 62-year-old grandmother Regina Taylor, "Too bad about your grandson." That led to words between the women, which led to Regina Taylor being shoved by Northrup's brother. Then punches and a panic alarm set off at court. Sheriffs and Providence police chased the alleged fighters down the stairs and outside, where state police also joined in. Those charged with disorderly conduct on Tuesday: Northrup, of 28 Henry Street; Ryan E. Johnson, 22, 370 Sharon Street; Jonathan Garrido, 20, 576 Public Street; Juan L. Oliver, 20, of 63 Salmon Street; Jeremiah Durrett, 21, of 155 Payne Avenue, Cranston; Carrie Northrup, 20, of 28 Henry Street; Michael Taylor, 29, of 463 Broad Street; Leon A. Taylor, 32, of 157 Ami Street; and Michael P. Drepal, 32, of 15 Ruskin Street. During their arraignments Wednesday, Another fight broke out in the fourth-floor hallway. Victoria Jones, 18, of Public Street, in Providence, was charged with disorderly conduct, and State Police Captain Robert Wall said the police are seeking a second woman for questioning. The arraignments included those who've already made headlines in courthouses. Last fall, Drepal was a key state witness in a bribery trial of two defense lawyers, Donna Ullman and Gerard Donnelly. Drepal admitted to conspiring with the lawyers and a rival, Jamal Dublin, who was accused of stabbing him at a wake for a murdered friend in October 2011. Donnelly, who was Dublin's lawyer, was accused of making $6,000 in payments to Drepal so he wouldn't testify. Donnelly was convicted and sentenced to 6 years. Ullman, who was Drepal's lawyer, and Dublin were both acquitted. Drepal, a convicted felon who has served time in state and federal prison, is now being held on bail at the adult correctional institutions, and Joseph Taylor's defense lawyer is John M. Cicilline, who was allowed to return to practicing law just this month. Cicilline had been disbarred after he and his former law partner pleaded guilty 6 years ago to a scheme of shaking down people accused in drug crime.
New details now on a deadly shooting in Providence. A grand jury has indicted the suspect. 18-year-old Joseph Taylor is charged with murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and several other firearm charges. Prosecutors say he shot into a car on Wendell Street back in May, killing 20-year-old Davon Taylor and injuring Taylor's 15-year-old sister. The victim and suspect are not related. He's due back in court for an arraignment next month.
Man indicted on murder charge after siblings shot. Providence. A Providence man has been charged with murder in connection with a shooting that killed a 20-year-old and injured his 15-year-old sister. The Rhode Island Attorney General's office said a grand jury on Monday indicted 18-year-old Joseph Taylor on a murder charge in the fatal shooting in May of Davon Taylor. Joseph Taylor also was indicted on charges of assault with a dangerous weapon, carrying a firearm without a license, and other gun violations. Authorities identify victim in Middleborough fire, say smoking. Authorities say Joseph Taylor shot a 9mm pistol into a vehicle in which Davon Taylor and his sister Destiny were sitting. Joseph Taylor, who isn't related to Davon and Destiny, is being held without bail. He's scheduled to be arraigned in Providence County Superior Court on September 3rd.
New details on a deadly shooting in Providence. Our cameras were the only ones rolling today as Joseph Taylor appeared back in court and entered a not guilty plea. He's charged with murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and several other firearm charges. Now, investigators say he shot into a car on Wendell Street back in May, killing 20-year-old Davon Taylor and injuring the victim's 15-year-old sister. The victims and suspect are not related.
Joseph Taylor pleads guilty to May 2014 murder of Davon Taylor. Attorney General Peter F. Gilmartin announced that today Joseph Taylor, age 18, with the last known address of 52 Cumerford Street, Providence, pleaded guilty before Superior Court Justice William Carnes to his role in the May 14, 2014 drive-by shooting that killed Davon Taylor and injured Destiny Taylor, no relation to the defendant. Under the terms of the plea agreement, which was reached with the approval of the victims, Joseph Taylor was sentenced to life in prison plus 20 years suspended with probation, non-parolable. Had the case proceeded to trial, the state was prepared to prove that at approximately 4 p.m. on May 14, 2014, Joseph Taylor fired a .9mm firearm out of the sunroof of a vehicle of which he was a passenger into the motor vehicle being driven by 20-year-old Davon Taylor. Bullets struck and killed Davon Taylor and injured his younger sister Destiny, who was 15 at the time. It is believed that Joseph Taylor shot Davon Taylor simply because the two lived in rival neighborhoods. Destiny Taylor identified Joseph Taylor as the shooter. A young father and older brother is senselessly murdered over a meaningless and trivial turf war. Yet, the facts of this case are another inner-city youth armed with a gun causing the death of another are all too common. On his 18th birthday, Joseph Taylor chose to commit murder, and now he faces a life in prison, as he should for his reckless decisions and violent actions. Providence Police Detectives Stephen Sullivan and Daniel O'Connell led the investigation. Assistant Attorney General and Chief of the Juvenile Prosecution Unit John Moreira, along with Special Assistant Attorneys General Joseph McBurney and Jeffrey Morin, prosecuted the case on behalf of the Office of Attorney General. 18-year-old Providence man sentenced to life in prison for shooting death of young rapper. Providence, RI. An 18-year-old Providence man is facing life in prison after pleading guilty Tuesday to shooting to death of a young rapper and wounding his teenage sister May 14. Joseph Joe Taylor, of 13 Wendell Street, pleaded guilty before Superior Court Judge William E. Carnes Jr. to murdering Davon Taylor, 20, and shooting the victim's sister, 15-year-old Destiny Taylor, in the abdomen. He received a sentence of life in prison, plus a 20-year suspended sentence with probation, according to Amy Kemp, spokeswoman for the Attorney General's office. The siblings are not related to the suspect, but police said they knew each other from rival neighborhoods. The Taylor family are from Manton Heights, and Joseph Taylor is from Hartford Park and the Silver Lake area. Destiny told police from her bed at Hasbro Children's Hospital about encountering JoJo on the afternoon of May 14. According to a police affidavit filed in district court, she and her older brother, who performed under the name Splashy Rock, were riding on Cranston Street en route to pick up a family member from daycare, when she saw a black car with Joseph Taylor in the passenger seat. Her brother told her that JoJo was celebrating his birthday. The affidavit says, they spotted the same car again after they parked outside the daycare center of Wendell Street. Again, Joseph Taylor was in the passenger seat. She told police she heard her brother say, "Oh," as a handgun emerged from the sunroof as the car drove past. The affidavit says, the gun fired. An autopsy showed that Davon Taylor, who rapped about making money and gun violence, died from a single gunshot wound to the lower back. Providence, RI. A man serving time for shooting at rivals making a rap video last summer is now accused of being the driver in a drive-by shooting that killed a local rapper and wounded the victim's 15-year-old sister last May. Juan Ranero, 21, who also uses the name Juan Diego, faces charges of murder, felony assault and several gun crimes in the slaying of Davon Taylor, 20, and injuring Destiny, 15, under indictments handed down by a Providence County grand jury. The accused gunman, Joseph JoJo Taylor, pleaded guilty last month and is serving a life sentence. Davon Taylor performed as Splashy Rock, with songs including Get In Money and Respect the Shooter, about gun violence in the city. Last May 14th, he and his sister were driving on Cranston Street to pick up a relative at a daycare when they noticed Joseph Taylor riding in another car. The siblings weren't related to Taylor, but they knew each other and lived in rival neighborhoods. The Taylor family are from Manton Heights, and Joseph Taylor is from Hartford Park and the Silver Lake area. Later, Destiny Taylor would recall to police that her brother saw Joseph and remembered it was his 18th birthday that day. The other car came past them again, and the siblings saw someone raise a handgun up through the sunroof and shoot at them. Within a week, police arrested Joseph Taylor, but did not get the man who drove him that day. However, a month later, Ranero was arrested after he ambushed members of the C Block Street gang who were part of a rap video on Hamilton Street. According to the Attorney General's office, like Joseph Taylor, Ranero is from Hartford, which is a rival of C Block. In late June, local rapper Vic Mucka and Chicago rapper Lil Herb were in Roger Williams Park and Elmwood shooting scenes for the video for their song Through the City. The Attorney General's office said, during the filming, Ranero shot at them 7 times and missed, then ran and hid in a neighboring house, said a spokeswoman for the Attorney General's office. Providence police caught Ranero and charged him with felony assault, discharging a firearm and breaking and entering into the house. He pleaded guilty in February and was sentenced to 20 years in prison, with 10 to serve. Ranero is now incarcerated at the adult correctional institutions. He'll be brought before Superior Court Judge Robert D. Krause on April 15 for an arraignment in the drive-by murder and shooting of the Taylor siblings.
New details now on a deadly drive-by shooting we've been tracking for 2 years. A Providence man pleads guilty to his role and is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Prosecutors say Juan Ranero was driving in Providence back in 2014 when his passenger Joseph Taylor fired a handgun at passengers in another car. 20-year-old Davon Taylor was killed and his 15-year-old sister was injured. The victims aren't related to Joseph Taylor.
Providence man sentenced to life in prison for shooting death of young rapper. Providence, RI. The driver in a drive-by shooting that killed a young Providence man and injured the victim's 15-year-old sister over rival turf has been sentenced to life in prison. Juan Ranero, 22, pleaded guilty Monday before Superior Court Judge William Carnes in the shooting 2 years ago that killed 20-year-old Davon Taylor and injured his little sister, Destiny. Davon Taylor had performed as Splashy Rock, rapping about violence and the streets in songs such as Get In Money and Respect the Shooter. He and Destiny were on their way to pick up a relative at a daycare on the afternoon of May 14, 2014, when they came under gunfire. In a plea agreement made with the approval of the victims, Ranero was sentenced to life plus 20 years suspended with probation, without parole. the Attorney General's office announced Tuesday. It's the same sentence that the gunman, Joseph "Jojo" Taylor, received after pleading guilty to being the gunman more than a year ago. He is not related to the Taylor siblings. Raniero and Taylor are from Hartford Park. The Taylor siblings are from Manton Heights. Raniero is already serving 10 years of a 20-year sentence for shooting at members of rival C-Block gang while they were making a rap video in Elmwood. That ambush was just a month after Davon Taylor's murder. Providence Police Detectives Stephen Sullivan and Daniel O'Connell investigated the ambush, which led to charging Raniero in the murder.